Top stories in today's Winn TV News. Commissioner of Police says he is not sure if he is still in charge of the police force. Police encouraged to embrace community policing. And Dominica is encouraging the rest of the region to embrace the CCJ. Welcome to another edition of the Winn TV News. I am Chantel Rochester. Commissioner of Police C.G. Winn says he has not been receiving any information from the government despite his efforts to contact the Prime Minister and the Attorney General in recent days. More in this, Andre Huey reports.
It was reported last week in the St. Kitts and Nevis Observer that the Commissioner took leave from his post with immediate effect. Mr. Winn was not forced or asked to leave, the report said, but made the request of his own volition. It is not certain how long the Commissioner would be away on leave of absence. Mr. Winn was on Freedom Radio Issues program Monday.
I have contacted the Prime Minister and the Attorney General, and they have not been responding to my emails. So I don't know what's going on in St. Kitts. You had 2 homicides in St. Kitts since I've been gone, and none of the people that work for me or under me have notified me. I have written emails, and I've gotten no response up to this morning. And I've gotten no response. So I don't know if I'm in charge of the police force. I know the contract says I am, but based on the treatment that they're giving me, I don't believe I am. So I will leave it there now.
According to the Observer newspaper, speculation has been rampant that the new government of national unity will replace Mr. Winn. During the election campaign, the Unity Coalition, then in opposition, were very critical of Mr. Winn, accusing him of being politically aligned with the St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party and for being hostile towards Team Unity. Mr. Winn was appointed by the Denzel Douglas administration in September 2011. His contract was renewed last year after serving for 3 years as Commissioner. Meanwhile, Mr. Winn was asked about a female police officer he promoted to acting superintendent, but whom was reportedly demoted to inspector recently. Efforts to reach the Prime Minister or Attorney General Vincent Byron Jr. for a comment on the Commissioner's claims were unsuccessful up to news time. The reports of this demotion come in light of pronouncements by Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris last week to police officers that there will be a more fair and transparent process in promotions within the police force.
Whatever have been your challenges with respect to promotion, for example, the future can deal with that. The past denied you that. The future must offer you fair opportunities for promotion to the ranks.
The Federation's police officers have been urged to fully embrace community policing in their efforts to effectively fight violent crime. That call comes from Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris.
Prime Minister Timothy Harris insisted while addressing the police Wednesday that the country needs community involvement in the work of the police.
Community policing, how critical that is to dealing with the challenges of crime and deviant behavior. We need you to live that. We need you not just to be the policeman and the policewoman out there in the community, but we want you to be infused in the communities, providing leadership where there is none. There is nothing wrong in the police officer leading the cricket team for Tabernacle or Mansion or Molyneux. As part of that building of network, which hitherto you may be able to fall upon for intelligence, for support, for advice in how you are going to deal with the critical challenges that you are going to confront.
The police are also being challenged to provide leadership for the country's youth.
Are we providing leadership for the young people, and in particular the young men, whether they be in Phillips Village or Old Road, or McKnight, or George Peace, or St. Paul's, who really want an idol, a mentor, a confidant? Is there something that we can do to help, rescue, save, support one young adult in need of guidance and support? I believe these are some of the important considerations which we must exercise our mind to to see how we can get that right mix of community involvement in the work of the police.
Prime Minister Harris says efforts must be made to get the public to cooperate more with the police in the fight against crime.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Winn FM.
Winn FM's mission is to contribute meaningfully to the information, awareness, and the development of our nation and the region through the building of educated and informed communities. Winn FM faces the issues squarely, without shying away from controversy, while striving continuously to provide balanced, responsible reporting.
Better music, better talk, better radio. 98.9 Winn FM.
Welcome back. CEO of the Nevis Tourism Authority, Greg Phillip, is confident that the cooperation between St. Kitts and Nevis in the promotion of the respective island destinations will continue under this new administration, where the Nevis Island Administration has forged a relationship with the federal government under a government of national unity.
I've been saying it all along. Our tourism authorities on both of these islands, we collaborate a lot more than people recognize. A lot of the things that we do overseas, the shows that we travel to, when we show up, it's not just a booth with simply Nevis alone. Many times it's St. Kitts and Nevis sharing a booth. The biggest and most successful trip that we make to the UK annually is done with both St. Kitts and Nevis, because it's a collaboration with both tourism authorities. It's about destination St. Kitts and Nevis when we go to the UK in early autumn, and it's something that we collaborate on and work with, and we plan, regardless as to the change of government, that is something that we plan to continue. It's a going concern for us, and I can tell you that most of the hotels this year on Nevis, since we've been doing this, have told us that they've seen a definite increase in the number of people coming out of the UK. So our collaboration with St. Kitts and with the St. Kitts Tourism Authority will continue because, frankly, it's working.
The Tourism Minister on Nevis is Deputy Premier Mark Brantley, and the new St. Kitts Minister of Tourism is the newly elected Lindsay Grant. Both Grant's People's Action Movement and the Nevis's Concerned Citizens Movement, CCM, are part of the three-party Team Unity coalition. The other party is the People's Labour Party of Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris. Both the Nevis and St. Kitts political counterparts in government signed an accord that is expected to govern the cooperation between the islands in the Team Unity government. After being sworn in, Tourism Minister Lindsay Grant said he would be looking to address issues at Port Zante and at the Pelican Mall while meeting with his staff and other tourism stakeholders. A press release from the Government Information Service noted that Mr. Grant met recently with his staff and he gave them the assurance of improving working conditions and productivity within the tourism ministry.
And finally, on the Winn TV News, having officially bid farewell to the London-based Privy Council, Dominica is now encouraging the rest of the OECS to fully embrace as soon as possible the Caribbean Court of Justice. Ken Richards has more.
The island on Friday acceded to the Caribbean Court's appellate jurisdiction. Prime Minister Roosevelt's Carrot indicated at the official ceremony in Roseau that as OECS chairman, he would try to influence the rest of the sub-region into taking the final CCJ step.
I want to say to us in the Caribbean, not only to Dominicans, that we need to show greater appreciation for the achievement of our people. Too many times we seek to question who we are as a people, to question our competence. And we believe too often that that which comes from out our region is superior to that which is created by our people. So while we are here questioning the competence and integrity of our justices across the board, the rest of the world are admiring them and wishing that they were serving their own people. And I can say that I find it very offensive when people who I believe ought to know better are propagating that kind of notion, questioning our people and questioning our ability. We have to stand on principle. and principle should never be negotiated. We can negotiate words, but not principle. And I stand there on principle that we have what it takes, we have the human resources to advance our nation in the way that we would like to see it advance. And we have to stand on this principle at all times. So I am indeed very humble to be the Prime Minister of this country at this time.
To end the Winn TV News, a look again at the headlines. Commissioner of Police says he is not sure if he is still in charge of the police force, and Dominica encourages the rest of the region to embrace the CCJ. I am Chantel Rochester and you have been watching the Winn TV News.